Hello everybody, welcome to another Weather Wednesday. My name's Elias and I'm here at the Space Foundation Discovery Center using Science on a Sphere to talk about just a couple of hot topics going on in the weather and the world around us. So first off, I don't know if you heard about the news, there was a devastating tornado that hit Tennessee, just north and west of Nashville. That happened late Monday night, early Tuesday morning, about between 12:30 and 1 a.m. Eastern or local time there. And some devastating images coming from this area because the tornado hit a fairly populated area, just the outskirts of the Nashville city proper. So here are a couple images that I picked just off the web, just showing the devastation. It wasn't a very strong tornado. I think it was ranked an F2, but still enough to cause incredible damage. There are over 40 houses or structures that have collapsed, over 20 fatalities because of this. Here is an interesting Doppler image showing the Doppler radar. This is typically showing rain as part of that thunderstorm, but what you see right here is the debris ball from the tornado. So this is the actual tornado on the ground picking up debris and whipping it around during that tornado. So just a very scary scene in Nashville, Tennessee. It's going to take them a long time to clean up from that. So keep those people in your thoughts and prayers as they clean up after the Nashville tornado. So, also something that will be happening this weekend is daylight savings time. Are you guys ready? Do you have your sleep tank full? Because what's going to happen is we are going to spring forward. We are going to take an hour from the morning and put it to the evening. So if the sun rises at 6:30 a.m. right now, next week it will be rising at 7:30 a.m. And if the sun is going down at 6 p.m. at night, it will now be going down at 7 p.m. So for those of you that want to do things after work, this is going to be a great time. The daylight on the tail end of the day is going to increase. And what I want to do is just talk a little briefly about the history behind the time change. It appears that the person being credited with the idea of a time change or a daylight savings time change was a gentleman named George Hudson back in 1898. He was an entomologist in the New Zealand area, I believe, and he enjoyed collecting insects after work. And man, he wished that he could collect insects a little bit longer in the day. So he proposed that we push back the time in the summer months so that our daylight was kind of shifted towards the after work hours. Also, there was almost concurrently, there was another gentleman in Europe, in Germany, I believe it was, in 1905 that also proposed to push back the time. He proposed 2 hours to the day. But anyway, it was officially adopted by the first full country to adopt that was Germany. I think it was 1916 was when it was instituted nationwide. And here in the United States, it was adopted in 1918 and has been around in some, at most times it's been around, but worldwide it wasn't really adopted worldwide until the 1970s, which coincides with the energy crisis. I have another graphic here which I want to share with you. Oh, it's a missing pip. What you can look at is you can see the countries that are that participate in the time zone or in the daylight savings time zone change. Most of these countries, you'll notice, are either in the North Poles or northern latitudes or very southern areas. And that has everything to do with seasonal changes. You see, because the earth is tilted, and let me bring this up so that you can see, because the earth is tilted here, some parts of the earth, especially closer to the poles, will experience a much shorter or a much longer day, depending on what time of year, what season it is. And in order to accelerate or take advantage of this extended day, they propose to shift that time. So countries like Finland, Norway, Denmark, Canada, here in the United States, and then southern countries such as Chile, Paraguay, they participate in daylight savings time. Most countries in Asia, and around the equatorial area do not participate in daylight savings time. It makes sense that those countries around the middle part of the country or the middle part of the world would not participate because their daytime, their day and night times of when the sun is up does not change very much because of that tilt of the earth, and because the sun spends most of its time around the equator. Those countries don't need to take advantage of a daylight savings time. So, as a reminder to you guys, set your clocks forward on Saturday night, early Sunday morning, to take advantage of this daylight savings time. What I can bring up is, what I was going to bring up are the time zones. This is an interesting thing that we can show here on Science on a Sphere. And you can see around the world here, the world is broken up into time zones. And you can see even here in, especially here in, what's interesting is here in China, China is one entire time zone. Look at that. China is about the size of the United States. Imagine the United States as one big time zone. What you will find then, because of that, is on the east part of China, this is where the sun rises early in the morning. And then over on the west side, the sun will set later in the day. So what you'll see is the sun may rise about, let's say, 6:30 on the eastern part of China, but the western part of China might not see the sun until 8:30 in the morning. While the sun may set on the western part of China at, let's say, for example, 6:30 p.m., the sun may not set until 8:30 p.m. on the western part. So big variations, big fluctuations with the time of day if your time zone is the same. You also notice there is a half number here in India, Malaysia, Pakistan, Afghanistan. You'll see that they are off by about a half hour. So it's interesting that if you're trying to communicate with people in that country, they will be off by half an hour based on your time zone. And then here is Greenwich, England. Here is where the time zone is based on right here. That is universal time. Zulu, that's what military time is based on. But right here, that's our main time zone. Anything moving east, you'll be adding an hour. Anything west, you'll be subtracting hours from that. If you have any questions about that, feel free to let us know. Feel free to email us and send us a message. Speaking of interest in collecting insects, I have one more story for you. And that is, in Africa, while China is going through, China and most of the world is going through an infestation of COVID-19, many parts of Africa, the Arabian Peninsula, India are fighting or battling an infestation of locusts. And so here you can see an image from Africa of a locust invasion. Imagine billions of insects coming to your backyard and eating every square inch of leafy vegetable or flower, every leafy inch of plant that you have. And that's what Africa and these countries are facing right now. Definitely, literally a plague of insects. And they're trying to figure out how to get rid of all of these insects. The reason these insects are so numerous right now is because of weather. Africa has experienced a wetter rainy season than normal, which is the prime ingredients or prime materials needed for locusts to grow and survive. Those locust swarms are caught up into the winds, and they travel towards the Arabian Peninsula. That's why you'll see a northeastern push across the Arabian Peninsula into Pakistan, into India. And China is trying to help. China is trying to help the country of Pakistan with this swarm of locusts, with these swarms of locusts. China doesn't want these locusts to travel into their country or spread into other countries. So there's a number of ways that they're battling this. One is pesticides, using pesticides to basically blanket an area and kill the locusts. The downside of this is pesticides will kill other insects too, some good insects like bees and beetles and spiders and things that you need to help contain bad insects. China is also developing this strange fungus that will attack only locusts, and it turns these locusts into basically these fuzzy green. They actually call this fungus green zombie locust fungus, or green zombie fungus is what they call it. And it's kind of an interesting method of biochemicals trying to control these vast swarms of locusts. And then lastly, one of the more fun things to talk about is an army of ducks. Yes. China has experimented with using ducks to control pests. These ducks, a duck can eat up to 200 locusts a day, and they have had great success in some areas of controlling some insect pests using ducks. But even if you had 100,000 ducks, that will only do a small dent in the billions of locusts that are now infecting that area. So if you have an idea, if you want to contribute an idea to Africa and the Arabian Peninsula to help control these swarms of locusts, please let us know, because this is a serious thing. These countries are still affected by famines, lack of food. They're still coming back from the Ebola virus, suffering from malaria, etc. So this is a bad thing for them, and they really need our support to help with these food shortages that they're going to be facing. So with that said, I think I might have time, just a little bit of time, just to look ahead at some forecasts for the United States here. That's where we are. So let me see if I have our forecast model here for Science on a Sphere. Looking at this, the reds and greens represent a little bit of temperature, and the lines represent the pressure differences. If you see a ridge over a certain area or a trough over another area, a trough represents low pressure, which means clouds. Ridge means high pressure, no clouds. So as we go through the day here, or as we go through this week, you'll see a low pressure system sliding down into the lakes in the eastern part of the U.S., followed by a ridge of pressure after that. In the Midwest, should be fairly clear, should be fairly sunny. Also in the west, it looks like there's going to be some high pressure over California and Oregon and Washington. That should give them some some nice weather there for the next few days as well. What is steering all this? Well, it's a jet stream that is keeping everything up to the north. So here we have the United States. This little loop right here is moving its way through, and you can see the jet stream is staying well north of the United States. In fact, it's building a ridge right here. You see that ridge? That's building a high pressure area over the west and central part of the United States. As that trough over the east coast moves off, that ridge is going to move over, and then the east coast will experience that nice weather. So there you go. That is all the time that I have for now. Again, if you have questions, please send those to us or comments. We'd love to hear from you. Let us know what we should cover next in our next Weather Wednesday. We look forward to hearing from you, and until next time, thanks for joining us on today's Weather Wednesday.